Hello students. So we'll start new topic today. Today's topic is mathematization and linear equation. And this is very important chapter. Lots and lots of questions have been asked over the years and they continue to get asked. So what is this mathematization? Mathematization is nothing but the skill to convert your word problem into equations. And linear equations, most probably you'll get linear equations and we need ability to solve those equations. So framing the equations and then solving those equations to find the answers. So more often than not, you will be given a word problem in any kind of examination, particularly in CSE prelims. And you need to be able to convert that word problem into equations. So that is the skill that we are supposed to have. We are supposed to have learned this in our schools, but probably we have forgotten it, or maybe we haven't learned it. No matter, we'll try to do it today with some pointers. I hope it will help you immensely. Okay. So what is the linear equation? Linear equation, before understanding what is linear equation, there are few terms that you can be aware about. First is constant. Constant is something whose value is fixed. It does not change. It does not vary. So it can be a number or a letter which is assumed as a constant. Then variable, something whose value can vary, can change, and when we put conditions on that variable, conditions that are given in the questions, when we put that conditions on that variable can take any number of values, but all the conditions combined, we may have unique value as answer to that variable. Coefficient, constant in front of variable, that is its coefficient. For example, in 5 into x, this is 5x, 5 is the coefficient and x is the variable. 7xy cube, 7 is the coefficient, x and y are variables, and so on. Term, coefficient and variables together, it's called term. So 5x is a term, 2.5xyz is another term. Term meaning these are variables and constants joined together by multiplication or division, right? So addition and subtraction symbols will separate the terms. For example, here 5x plus 9 is equal to 34. So the 5x is one term, 9 is another term, 34 is third term. Equations are mathematical statements containing two algebraic expressions on both the sides of equal to or equality sign. So in equation, we need to have equality sign. So because of equality sign, we'll have one left hand side and one right hand side. There are certain terms which form together an expression on left hand side, and there can be certain terms which will form expression on the right hand side, and equality sign will join them. And this thing wherein equality joins to expression is called equation. So this is example of equation. 5x plus 9 equal to, equality sign होना ही चाहिए equation में, equal to 34. 3y cube minus 4x is equal to 120. Equation. Another equation. These are all examples of equation. However, if you only write 32x plus 12y plus z, this is not an equation. This is just an expression because equality sign नहीं है. Equation में equality sign होना ही पड़ेगा. Fine. Next is degree of equation. Degree of equation is the highest power of terms in the given equation. For example, degree of 5x plus 9. यहाँ पे variable क्या है? There is only one variable x. Power of that x is 1. So degree is 1. 3y square minus 4x is equal to 123. There are two variables x and y, and highest power is y square. So degree is 2. Degree of this 746xy square plus this thing is degree of this is here. This is the highest degree term. This is the highest degree term, and 1 is the power of x. Power of y is 2. So 2 plus 1. Degree of this equation is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. So 1 for x plus 2 for y square, which is 3. So that is the degree. Another example I can have x y cube z plus x cube y cube z cube plus x y z raised to 8 is equal to, let us say, 8. What is the degree of this equation? Degree of this term is 3 plus 2, 5. Degree of this term is 3, 9. Degree of this term is 8 plus 1 plus 1. So 10. So degree of this entire equation is 10 because this is the highest degree term. So degree of this equation is 10. ठीक है. Now we can define the linear equation. Linear equation is simply defined as an equation wherein degree is 1. Degree 1 equation का मतलब है linear equation. Equation with degree 1 as is the linear equation. So we can have something like this. 5x plus 3y is equal to 7. Degree of this equation is 1. इसकी भी degree 1 है, इसकी भी degree 1 है. Variables can be multiple, but degree is 1. So this is a linear equation. So in linear equation, we can't have terms like xy. We can't have terms like x square, y square या फिर x cube, etc. ऐसे सारे terms नहीं होंगे because they will lead to higher degree terms. So all the terms of linear equation will be with only single variable. दो variable एक साथ नहीं आएंगे एक term में. तो ये होता है linear equation. They can be further classified as linear equation in one variable, linear equation in two variable, three variable, etc. ठीक है. So standard form of linear equation with variables two variables x and y is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. ये होगा सबसे जनरल फॉर्म ऑफ linear equation with two variables. One variable क्या होगा? ax plus b is equal to 0. Degree 1 term, degree 0 term. Three variable ax plus by plus cz plus d is equal to 0. So abcd यहाँ पे coefficients है, x y z are variables. So this is linear equation in three variables. ठीक है. Now with this background, we want to convert our word problem into our equations. So to do that, what do we have? Like we are given a word problem. कुछ ना कुछ हमें word problem दिया होगा. हमें क्या decide करना होता है? Firstly, we have to decide कि which quantity we assume as unknown. कुछ ना कुछ unknown assume करना पड़ेगा. कुछ ना कुछ quantity है, उसको variable assume करना पड़ेगा. We need to assume some quantity as variable, like x. Let it be x. Let number of balls be x. कुछ भी ऐसा जो question आता है, कुछ तो हमें assume करना पड़ता है unknown. Let it be x, let it be y, let it be z, something like that. Variable, we have to assume something. So first decision we have to make is which quantity should we assume as unknown. ये है decision number 1. Second decision is how many unknowns should we assume. That is decision number 2. And once we take these two decisions, all that is required is to trace the question and write all the information that is given in the question in terms of the variables which we have assumed. That is the process of mathematization. और जब वो लिख एक बार हम लिख ले, when we write that thing, then all we are left with is to solve those equations. एक बार वो conversion हो गया, उसके बाद बस solution है. Solving is easier part, conversion little bit difficult because there we have to take few decisions like कि कौन सा चीज को अननोन लेना है और कितने अननोन लेने हैं. These are the decisions we have to make. Now I will give you certain important pointers or rules of thumb to decide. First rule of thumb to decide the unknown is assume what is being asked as unknown x and just plot the information given in the problem in terms of this x, and in over 90% of the problem that will be the case. मतलब मैं क्या बोलना चाह रहा हूं, कुछ तो क्वेश्चन होगा, some information, something will be given and end में पूछा जाएगा कुछ क्वेश्चन कि यहाँ पे जैसे कि find the number of women. यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन इज फाइंड द नंबर ऑफ वुमेन. नाउ जो भी पूछा गया है, whatever is being asked, we assume that quantity as our unknown x, and then what we do, we just plot all the information that is there in the question in the form of this x. अब इसको तो एक unknown कर लिया assume, अब और unknown की जरूरत है कि नहीं, that is our second decision that will come to later, but let me show you how to do this. And this works in 90% of the problem. 10% में क्या होगा, I'll tell you. A sum is divided among 120 men and some women in this ratio. Fine, okay. If each man gets 5 and each woman gets 4, then find the number of women. Because rupees, each man gets 5, some, and woman gets 4 rupees, जो भी है. and then find the number of women. First, what will we do? This is a word problem. Something is being asked, so we will try to assume that quantity as unknown. Let number of women be x. ठीक है. अब we'll go back to our original problem and start reading again and try to plot everything that we have. क्या दिया है? Sum is being divided in some ratio, right? और क्या दिया है? If each man gets 5 and each woman gets 4, there are 120 men, so and each man will get 5 rupees. So how much money will men get in total? 120 into 5, 600 रुपए. And how much money will women get in total? Every woman gets 4, and there are x number of women. That is what we have assumed. So women total get 4x rupees. Total they get 4x, man get 600, and we are given ratio is 15 by 21. Just write it. Ratio is 15 by 21. That is 600 divided by 4x is equal to 15 by 21. Once we have this is just linear equation in single variable, which is very very solvable. बस simplify करो, you will get the answer for x जो कि पूछा गया है. कैसे solve करेंगे? और क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई करोगे इधर. 600 into 21 is equal to 15 into 4x. अब x को एक साइड रखो, बाकी सब एक साइड ले जाओ. So you will have 600 into 21 divided by 15 into 4 is equal to x. ये 15 into 4 60 होता है. 60 गया. You will get x is equal to 210. 21 into 10. Fine. This is how you will solve this. x की वैल्यू आ गई जो भी पूछा गया था. Next question, let us see. A and B together have this much money. Fine. Second, if 4/5 of A's amount is equal to 2/5 of B's amount, how much amount does B have? अब you can observe that there are two people involved in this question, A और B, दो लोग हैं, and this is one set of information, and this is second information. So दो चीजों के दो information भी दी गई है A और B के बारे में, and पूछा क्या गया है? How much amount does B have? Right? So as always, what we'll do? We'll assume let this amount be x. Let B have x amount. But because there are two people involved, हमें A के लिए भी कुछ assume करना पड़ेगा. Two people involved, two informations given. That is the indication that we need two variables, not one. Fine. I have not come to it yet, but this is the indicator that लोग कितने हैं involved? दो लोग हैं. Information कितनी दी गई है? दो informations है. So we have to assume two unknowns. Right? So let A have y amount. So and what is given? दोनों को मिला के कितना पैसा है? x plus y is equal to 1210. Correct. And second is 4 by 15 of A's amount, जो कि हमने y assume की है, is equal to 2 by 5 of B's amount, which is we have assumed as x. Fine. तो यहां पे हम लोग 5 1s are 5, 5 3s are 15, 2 1s are 1, 2 2s are 4. अब क्या आएगा? 2y into 1 is equal to 3 into x. Correct. This is relation between x and y we have. और हमारे पास क्या है? ये है. We want value of y. We want value of x. So just let us put value of y from here, which is y is equal to 3x divided by 2. वो यहां पे डालेंगे तो मिलेगा x plus 3x by 2 is equal to 1210. x plus 3 by 2 क्या होगा? x plus 3x by 2 क्या होगा? 5x by 2. 1 plus 3 by 2 मतलब 1.5 plus 1 2.5 is 5 by 2 is equal to 1210. X is equal to 1210 into 2, so 2420 divided by 5 is equal to, just simplify करो, क्या आएगा? 484. So that is the amount x or this B has. हमने क्या किया? Firstly, we assumed whatever that is being asked as x. Then what we did? Seeing that there are two people involved in the question and there are two sets of information, we assumed one more variable y, which was very natural choice. क्या थी हमारी दूसरी वेरिएबल के लिए? कि a के पास पैसा कितना है? b का पैसा पूछा है तो a का पैसा दूसरा वेरिएबल होगा. तो दो वेरिएबल हो गए, and then we'll just write the equation that is given. ये एक इक्वेशन हो गया और ये दूसरा इक्वेशन हो गया, दोनों की मिला के 1210 रुपए, and 4/5 of A is 2/5 of B. That is the second equation. Then this was asked in CSE 2022. तो उसमें क्या दिया देखो, 2 people X and Y contested an election. तो 2 लोग हैं, फाइन. 80% of voters casted their vote. तो सब लोगों ने वोट नहीं किया, 80% लोगों ने वोट किया. स्टिल क्वाइट हेल्दी टर्नआउट. इंडिया में इससे तो कम ही टर्नआउट होता है. There are no invalid votes, there is no nota. So basically people who have voted, they have voted for either X or Y. दोनों के दो ही ऑप्शन है, दोनों के अलावा कुछ नहीं है. फाइन. X got 56% of the vote and votes cast and won by these many votes. What is the total numbers of voters in the list? ठीक है. What is the total number of voters in the list? So what we'll do, we'll assume total number of voters in the list as n. मान लिया कि नंबर ऑफ वोटर्स आर n एंड 80% ऑफ देम हैव कास्टेड वोट. तो वोट कितने लोगों ने दिया है? 80% ऑफ n. 80% इज 0.8. 0.8 ऑफ n. इतने लोगों ने वोट दिया है. आउट ऑफ दीज वोट्स, जो भी वोट्स है, x हैज गॉट 56% ऑफ द वोट. 56% वोट्स हैव गॉन टू x. 56% ऑफ दिस क्वांटिटी. जितने भी वोट मिले हैं उसमें से 56%. एंड रेस्ट, मीनिंग रेस्ट वोट्स विल गो टू y. तो वो कितने होंगे? 44% होंगे. नेचुरल सी बात है, जो इसको नहीं गए वो उसका गए. एंड व्हाट इज गिवन? दैट आफ्टर दिस x won by 1440 वोट्स. सो x 1440 वोट से जीत गया, मतलब y से उसको 1440 वोट्स आए ज्यादा. तो x के वोट्स माइनस y के वोट्स, वो हो गया 1440. ऐसे यही तो होता है. इतने कोई भी नंबर, कोई भी पर्सन इतने वोटों से जीता, का क्या मतलब होता है? उसको जो सेकंड पर्सन है उससे उतने वोट ज्यादा आए. दैट इज द मीनिंग कि उतने वोट से जीता. सो दिस क्वांटिटी माइनस दिस क्वांटिटी, दिस इज योर 1440. सो 56% ऑफ 0.8n minus 44% of 0.8n is 1440. Again we have linear equation, one equation with only one unknown जो कि पूछा गया है. तो हमें यहाँ पे बस n की वैल्यू निकालनी है. तो क्या आएगा देखो, 56% माइनस 44% ऑफ द सेम क्वांटिटी, उसको कॉमन लोगे तो 56% माइनस 44% इज 12%. तो आएगा 12% ऑफ 0.8n is equal to 1440. 12% is nothing but 12 by 100 into 0.8. n is equal to 1440. So make everything there. So n is equal to 1440 into 100 divided by 12 into 0.8. So 12 is 144. तो ये क्या आएगा? 120 इंटू 100 डिवाइडेड बाय 0.8. मैं एक और 0 ऐड करके इसको 8 कर देता हूं. आई एम जस्ट मल्टीप्लाइंग बाय एंड डिवाइडिंग बाय 10. बोथ आई एम मल्टीप्लाइंग न्यूमरेटर एंड डिनोमिनेटर बाय 10. तो ये वो आ गया 8 1 जा 1, 15 8 जा 120. तो 15 इंटू 1000 इट इज 15,000 जो पूछा गया है. दिस वाज आस्क्ड इन CSE 2022. समझ गए? आई होप इट वाज क्लियर. वी जस्ट हैव टू अज्यूम व्हाटएवर दैट इज बीइंग आस्क्ड एज आवर अननोन. जो भी n मैंने अज्यूम किया यहाँ पे. अब लेट उसके बाद वंस वी अज्यूम द अननोन, वी जस्ट हैव टू प्लॉट व्हाटएवर दैट इज बीइंग गिवन. पहला क्या दिया? 80% लोगों ने उनका वोट कास्ट किया, तो इतने लोगों ने वोट कास्ट किया. इतने लोग मतलब 0.8 है. अब उसमें से 56% लोगों ने x को वोट दिया, बचे हुए लोगों ने y को दिया होगा. और ये सब होने के बाद x कितने से जीता है? 1440. दैट इज आवर इक्वेशन. ओनली वन सेट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन इज गिवन. तो फिर आगे का बस कैलकुलेशन है. आई होप दैट इज क्लियर. And this is I told you that this will work in about 90% of the cases. कि जो भी पूछा गया है उसी को अननोन लेना will work in 90% of the cases. What will happen in the rest of the question? 10% में क्या होगा? 10% questions में देयर वुड बी सम क्वेश्चंस वेयरइन पूरे क्वेश्चन में इंफॉर्मेशन किसी और ही क्वांटिटी के बारे में दी होगी एंड देन क्वेश्चन कुछ और ही पूछा होगा, समथिंग रिलेटेड टू इट, बट नॉट डायरेक्टली अबाउट इट। तो इंफॉर्मेशन जिस क्वांटिटी के बारे में ज्यादा से ज्यादा अवेलेबल है, दैट कैन बी अज्यूम्ड एज अननोन। इंफॉर्मेशन in the question, the quantity about which there is maximum information available, that quantity can be assumed as unknown, and then question it might be different, that can be answered later at the last step. So that is that will work in about 10% of the cases, but 90% of the cases this will work, that जो भी पूछा है उसी को unknown ले लो, ज्यादा दिमाग मत चलो। Fine. Next is how many unknowns can be assumed, number of unknowns to be chosen. तो इसका क्या है ना, I have said this already to you guys, that if we have n variables, then we need n independent equations to solve for the n variables. ठीक है, that I have said multiple times. So basically if you have n variables, हमें n equations चाहिए, तो we can assume only as many variables as number of equations that might get formed. तो मतलब क्वेश्चन से अगर एक ही इक्वेशन बन सकता है, then we can only assume one variable, क्योंकि ज्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन है ही नहीं क्वेश्चन में, दो वेरिएबल अज्यूम ही क्यों कर रहे हो। और if we have two sets of information in the question, like हमारे पास वो a and b वाला क्वेश्चन था, there were two sets of information, so it was indication that there are two unknowns that could have been chosen. तो इसी तरीके से चूज करना। Let us see the questions. हाँ, and that information when we are talking about independent information, that information needs to be new and it should not be dependent on the previous information. जैसे कि ये देखो, you have a number, the number is subtracted by 4, next it is divided by 12 and the final result is 13. What is the starting number? Now here तुम्हें लग सकता है कि बहुत सारी इंफॉर्मेशन है, कि ये एक इंफॉर्मेशन है, ये एक है, ये एक है, ये एक है। ऐसा नहीं है, because you see we started with a number, then it is subtracted by 4, so this information is contingent on previous information, then it is divided by 12, so this information is dependent on previous information, then final result is 13. So this result is the only information that we have. ठीक है, तो नई इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है, every subsequent information here depends upon the previous information, so no independent information is there, so we cannot have more than one variable, so we can assume only one unknown which is to be found as x. मतलब ये जो इनिशियल नंबर है उसको ही x assume कर लो and solve it. ठीक है, if two equations can be found, we can assume two variables and so on. ठीक है, जैसे कि a और b वाला क्वेश्चन अगर ऐसा होता that if a and b together have 1210, if double of a's amount and double of b's amount is 2420, how much amount does b have? So here we are given two information, seemingly two information दिख रही है कि ये एक information है और ये एक information है, but first information is if we assume two unknowns here x and y, जैसे कि पहले किया था, तो क्या आएगा, पहले तो x plus y is equal to 1210 आएगा, पहला इंफॉर्मेशन से आएगा x plus y is equal to 1210, and second information double of a's amount plus double of b's amount is equal to 2420, and if you divide this equation by 2, we'll again get x plus y is equal to 1210. Same information, तो यहाँ पे कुछ नया पता नहीं चला, so this is only one equation but variables are two, unknowns are two, so this question actually cannot be solved. We do not have solutions of this equation, so we have two unknowns, only one equation, so we can't solve this equation, we can't solve this question, rather this question is not solvable. Next is once we form the linear equations, we want to solve linear equations, and also we'll see solving quadratic equation जो हमने बचपन में पढ़ा है. Solving equations means finding value of unknown variable which satisfies the given equation. For example, x plus 2 is equal to 5. If this is the equation, x is the variable, so which value of the variable will satisfy this equation? If you put x is equal to 3, you know that 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. सो x इज इक्वल टू 3 इज द सॉल्यूशन ऑफ दिस इक्वेशन। तो ये मतलब है सॉल्यूशन का कि वेरिएबल की ऐसी वैल्यू जो इस इक्वेशन को सेटिस्फाई कर लेगी। वेरी सिंपल। गिव मी अ मोमेंट, लेट मी जस्ट ड्रिंक सम वाटर। ओके, तो ये है सॉल्यूशन का मतलब। सॉल्विंग द इक्वेशन मींस finding the value of variable which satisfies the given equation. First we'll see solving equation with one variable. Most general equation with one variable is this ax plus b is equal to 0. तो क्या करना है हमें? कुछ नहीं करना है, हमें कांस्टेंट्स एक साइड लेने हैं और वेरिएबल को एक साइड रखना है। तो मतलब इस b को हम जब राइट हैंड साइड में ले जाएंगे, व्हेन वी लेट दिस b क्रॉस द इक्वालिटी साइन, इट विल गो विथ नेगेटिव साइन, क्योंकि यहां पे प्लस में है। तो क्या आएगा? ax इज इक्वल टू माइनस ऑफ b। फाइन। और इट इज सेम एज सब्ट्रैक्टिंग b फ्रॉम बोथ द साइड्स। दोनों साइड से b सब्ट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं बेसिकली, तो b सब्ट्रैक्ट करेंगे तो ये 0 0 हो जाएगा, और ये 0 माइनस b माइनस, उसको उधर ले जा रहे का मतलब है सब्ट्रैक्ट करना। और यहाँ पे a इंटू एक्स है ना, ये a इंटू एक्स है, दिस इज इन मल्टीप्लीकेशन। सो वी डिवाइड बाय a ऑन द बोथ साइड्स। इफ a is not 0, then we'll get x is equal to minus b by so a. So this is the solution of this equation. x equal to minus b by a is the solution of this equation. एग्जाम्पल देखो तो ये देखो 3x माइनस 6 इज इक्वल टू 0। तो क्या आएगा? 3x इज इक्वल टू 6, उधर लेके जाओगे इसको माइनस का प्लस हो जाएगा, एंड सो x इज इक्वल टू 6 डिवाइडेड बाय 3, क्योंकि ये 3 यहाँ पे मल्टीप्लीकेशन में, वहां पे डिवीजन में चला जाएगा, इज इक्वल टू 2। x is equal to 2 is the solution of this equation. Fine. वही लिखा है मैंने। Another example, 2x plus 8 is equal to 5x minus 1. What we'll do? We'll bring variables on one side and constants on another side. 2x यहाँ पे 5x है, तो 2x को इस साइड ले जाओ और ये -1 को इस साइड ले जाओ। -1 को इस साइड ले जाओगे तो क्या आएगा? +1 आएगा। 8 + 1, एंड ये 5x है, ये वैसा का वैसा, एंड इफ यू ब्रिंग 2x दिस साइड यू विल गेट -2x दिस साइड, बिकॉज यहाँ पे वो एडिशन में है। सो यू विल गेट 9 इज इक्वल टू 3x। सो x इज इक्वल टू 9/3 इज इक्वल टू 3। ये आएगा सॉल्यूशन। फाइन। सो solving linear equation with one variable is very very easy. Just bring constants on one side, variables on one side, and you will get the solution. Fine. Now something we'll see, that finding out solution of linear equations with fractional coefficients. कुछ नहीं है, it is about just instead of coefficients, instead of integers, now we'll have fractions. Nothing else changes. For example, here 2/7x minus 3/2 is equal to 0. So what we'll get? 2/7x is equal to 3/2, because this minus 3/2 वो उधर चला जाएगा तो प्लस आ जाएगा। So x is equal to 3/2 into this 7, ये 2/7 वहां पे जाएगा तो 7/2 हो जाएगा। ये 7 डिवीजन में है, वो उधर मल्टीप्लीकेशन में चला जाएगा। ये 2 यहाँ पे मल्टीप्लीकेशन में, वो उधर डिवीजन में चला जाएगा। तो क्या आएगा? 21/4। फाइन। This is one way. Second way is you know that this is 7, this is 2, so LCM of 7 and 2 is 14. So multiply everything by 14, you will get 14 into 2/7x minus 14 into 3/2 is equal to 14 into 0 is 0. So you will get 1 2. So 2 into 2 4x minus 7 into 3 21 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 21/4. ये 21 इधर और 4 नीचे. That is also one way you can do this. So fraction हो तो भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. I hope that is clear. That if we have linear equation in only one variable, तो चाहे वो coefficients fractions हो और coefficients are integer, it doesn't matter. We can simply solve by taking coefficients on one side and variables on coefficients or constants on one side and variables on another side, so and equating them. तो वो हो गया solution. Now is the next thing that we want to learn how to do. now we want to solve linear equation with 2 variable. 3 variable बहुत complicated हो जाएगा. 3 variable will not be asked to you in any case. That is asked every year to maths optional people. It will not be asked to you. You can maximum be asked 2 variable wala calculation, and that is easy enough. We'll see how. If we have so basically how this equation in 2 variables will look. It will look something like this: x की term, y की term constant, p की term, q की term constant. So term meaning there can be no x square or xy or nothing like that. Degree 2 terms will not come. Only degree 1 terms, meaning x or y will come separate in different terms. This is how general 2 degree equation will look like. Some coefficient into x plus some coefficient into y plus some constant equal to 0. This is how जनरल सेकंड डिग्री इक्वेशन विल लुक. यहाँ पे कोई वेरिएबल्स आर एक्स एंड वाई, यहाँ पे वेरिएबल्स आर पी एंड क्यू. वेरिएबल्स कैन टेक एनी नेम, इट डजंट मैटर. एंड ये अगेन आई हैव रिपीटेड, आई विल रिपीट अगेन, we need at least n equations to solve equations with n variables. So if we want to solve equation with 2 variables, हमें 2 इक्वेशन चाहिए रहेंगे, because there are 2 variables. 2 इक्वेशन चाहिए रहेंगे, एक इक्वेशन से काम नहीं चलेगा. So we need 2 equations to solve above equation. ये इक्वेशन अगर हमने लिया x plus 2y minus 3 equal to 0, तो let us consider 4x minus 3y minus 1 equal to 0. So let me write these equations. क्या थे? x plus 2y minus 3 equal to 0. Next equation 4x minus 3y minus 1. I think these are the equations. Now what we want to convert this pair of equations, pair of linear equation into an equation with only one variable. हमें one variable वाला solve कैसे करना है हमें आता है. तो in using these 2 equations we want to eliminate one of the 2 variables. So what do I do? For example, here I can do either of the 2 things. I multiply this first equation by 4 and then subtract second equation from first equation. I multiply this equation by 4 and subtract second equation from first equation. Fine. If I multiply 4 into this entire equation, so 4x, and I am subtracting the subtraction पे, यहाँ पे 4x minus 4x you will get 0, right? x की term cancel हो जाएगी. Here you will get 4 into 2y, so 8y and minus of minus 3y, so plus 3y ना, ये साइन चेंज हो जाएगा. So 8y plus 3y is plus 11y, 8 plus 3 11, and this is minus 12 minus minus again ये plus 1 हो जाएगा, minus 12 plus 1, so it is minus 11 is equal to 0. So we'll get 11y is equal to 11 or y is equal to 1. And then we'll put y is equal to 1 की वैल्यू in any of these equations. तो पहले में डाल दी जैसे कि, तो हमें x plus 2, y is 1, minus 3 is equal to 0. So x minus 1 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 1. So this is the solution: x equal to 1 and y equal to 1. Fine. We try to eliminate one of the variables using these 2 equations. Another way, here I eliminated x. I can also eliminate y. How do I eliminate y? कुछ और था क्या यहाँ पे? 4 था ना, right? यहाँ पे 4 था. So here if I want to eliminate y, here 2y है, यहाँ पे minus 3y है. So I'll multiply this equation by 3 and multiply this equation by 2. तो क्या होगा? I'll get 3x plus 6y minus 9 is equal to 0, and यहाँ पे 8x minus 6y minus 2 is equal to 0. यहाँ पे plus 6y, यहाँ पे minus 6y आ गया. Now I'll just add and it will become 0. Add करूंगा तो यहाँ पे क्या आएगा? 11x plus 6y minus 6y गया, minus 2 minus 9 minus 11 is equal to 0. X is equal to 1. X equal to 1 आया. Again I'll put x into any one of them. So I'll get x equal to 1. पहले equation में डालूंगा तो 1 plus 2y minus 3 equal to 0. So 2y minus 2 equal to 0. Y is equal to 1. Same answer. कोई भी कर सकते हो. Fine. I'll solve one more question. for you to understand it in a better way. And this solution that I'm taking any random equation, so solutions might not be good looking, तो कुछ fraction आ सकता है. In actual examination you will get good solutions like this, x equal to 1, y equal to 1 वगैरह आएगा. अभी मैं कोई भी random numbers ले रहा हूँ, 5 कोई variables और ले रहा हूँ मैं, 5p plus 3q plus 17 is equal to 17 नहीं लेते, plus चलो 10 is equal to 0. Minus 19 is equal to 0, and I'll take 3p minus 2q minus 3q, so ये इजी हो जाएगा. चलो minus 4q plus 6 is equal to 0. So let us take these equations. I hope the answers will be better. So you see here we have 5p, we have 3p, here plus 3q minus 4q. So we can eliminate either one of the variables. I'll show both. Let us first eliminate p, let us then eliminate q. p eliminate करने के लिए क्या करेंगे, चलो ये हटा देते हैं. Let us first eliminate p. So we have to multiply this by 3, this by 5 and subtract. दोनों 15-15 हो जाएंगे तभी, then only we can subtract and p will get eliminated. So you'll get 15p plus 9q minus 19 3s are 57 equal to 0. And here you will get 15p minus 20q plus 6 into 5 is 30 is equal to 0. Now I'll subtract. So 15p minus 15p you will get 0. 9q, and this is minus of minus. 9 plus 20. Minus of minus will be plus. 9 plus 20, 29q minus 57 plus 30. So you will get, no, this is not 57. No? 57 सही तो है. अच्छा क्यों नहीं आ रहा? अच्छा, right. This is 9 plus 20 is 29q. This minus 57 minus of 30, na? This minus into plus will be minus. So minus 57 minus 30 is minus 87, right? Is equal to 0. So 29q is equal to 87. Q is equal to 87 by 3. 87 by 29, right? 87 by 29 is equal to 3. So q की value 3 आ गई. Just put that value in any one of those equation. Any one of those equation is fine. Let us put this in this equation. So you will get 3p minus 3 into 4 minus 12 plus 6 is equal to 0. So 3p is equal to this 3p minus 6 is equal to 0. P is equal to 2. So ये आ गया p equal to 2 and q equal to 3. That is one way wherein we eliminated p. Now let us try eliminating q. लेट अस ट्राई एलिमिनेटिंग q. तो यहाँ पे 3 है, यहाँ पे 4 है, सो मल्टीप्लाई दिस बाय 4, दिस बाय 3, यू विल गेट 20p plus 12q minus 76 is equal to 0, and here you will get 9p minus 12q plus 80 is equal to 0. Now you see 12q minus 12q, you just simply need to add. पहले subtract करना पड़ा था क्योंकि साइन सेम था p का. Here sign are plus and minus, so we need to add. 20 plus 9 is 29p, ये कैंसिल हो जाएगा, and minus 76 plus 18 is minus 58 is equal to 0. So p is equal to 58 by 29, which is 2. P equal to 2, just put that in any one of the equation. If you put that in first equation, you will get 5 into 2, 10 plus 3q is minus 19 is equal to 0. So 3q is equal to 19 minus 10, which is 9, and q is equal to 3. 9 divided by 3. So same answer you get. This is how you need to solve the two linear equation in two variables. Thirdly, quadratic equation is an equation with degree is equal to 2. And these are the examples. xy is equal to 2. This is degree 2 है ना, xq1 and yq1, 1 plus 1 2. x square plus 3 equal to 9. Again there is square term, so this is degree 2 equation. And if we have this kind of quadratic equation in one variable, only one variable but quadratic, so ax square plus bx plus c, this is how it will look. So solution of this is this. Now minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4a into c divided by 2 times a. This is the solution. ये प्लस करोगे तो एक आंसर आएगा, माइनस करोगे तो दूसरा आंसर आएगा. So there are two solutions of this particular equation. प्लस माइनस इसलिए लिखा जाता है कि एक बार प्लस करो उससे एक वैल्यू आ जाएगी, that is one solution. एक बार माइनस रखो यहाँ पे, that is another solution. So there are two solutions of this quadratic equation. Now अब इसका how does this come? I can show you, but this is really not relevant. We just complete the square and find the solution, but that is really not relevant for you. But please remember this. Important thing is, why do we need to remember? Because we have studied this in our schools. इसीलिए पूछा तो जा सकता है. If you can, please remember this. And if you want to see how to use x square minus 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. So this is a is equal to 1, a, b is equal to minus 2, and c is equal to minus 8. If you put that in this equation, you will get minus b, which is plus 2, plus minus square root of b square minus 4 into a into c. So 4 into 1, so 1 into c. So this is 32, minus 32, minus of minus 32, so plus 32 divided by 2 times a, which is 2, which is 2 plus minus square root of 32 plus 6 is 36, which is 6 divided by 2. So एक solution है 2 plus 6 by 2, which is 8 by 2, and second solution is 2 minus 6 by 2, which is minus 4 by 2, which is equal to 4 and minus 2. These are the two roots of this particular quadratic equation. Fine. Let us see few PYQs and how easily we could have solved them using our basic knowledge of linear equations. First, CSE 2023, for 5 children A, B, C, D, E with ages A, B, C, D, any two successive ages differ by 2. What have they given us? That any two successive ages have differed by 2. 5 log hai. There are 5 people, 5 children. So we have 5 unknowns, correct? Each one for their ages. So 5 unknown hai. How many equations we need to solve? 5 equations. 5 equations are needed. Fine. And they have said that any two successive ages differ by 2. Matlab b minus a is equal to 2, c minus b is equal to 2, d minus c is equal to 2, and e minus d is equal to 2. So 4 sets of information they have already given us कि इनमें दो का difference है. So 4 equations they have already given us, and we need 5 because unknowns are 5. We need 5 equations to solve. 4 इक्वेशन उन्होंने ऑलरेडी दे चुके हैं कि इनमें दो का गैप है, तो वो 4 इक्वेशन है हमारे पास. कितना इक्वेशन और चाहिए? वी ओनली नीड 1 इक्वेशन जो इससे डिफरेंट हो. वी नीड 1 इक्वेशन व्हिच इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम दीस 4 इक्वेशंस. क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट इज द एज ऑफ यंगेस्ट चाइल्ड. तो ए का एज पूछा है, बट एनी इट डजंट मैटर. एक का एज पता चल जाएगा तो सबका पता चल जाएगा, क्योंकि वो पता है कि डिफरेंस दो दो का है. तो वी नीड एजेस. सो वी नीड बेसिकली वी नीड सॉल्यूशन. सॉल्यूशन के लिए हमारे पास 4 इक्वेशन है, हमें एक और चाहिए बस. दैट लेट अस सी व्हिच स्टेटमेंट गिव्स अस. एज ऑफ द एल्डेस्ट इज 3 टाइम्स द यंगेस्ट. तो मतलब E इज इक्वल टू 3 टाइम्स A. इज इट अ न्यू इक्वेशन? यस, राइट. सेम इक्वेशन तो नहीं है इसमें, दो दो का डिफरेंस की बात कुछ नहीं आई. बट दिस E इज इक्वल टू 3 इक्वेशन इज अ न्यू इक्वेशन. फिफ्थ इक्वेशन विल गेट अ सॉल्यूशन और नॉट? यस, डेफिनेटली. सॉल्यूशन पूछा नहीं है उन्होंने. दे हैव नॉट आस्क्ड अस टू सॉल्व. वी आर जस्ट बीइंग आस्क्ड इज इट पॉसिबल टू सॉल्व. पॉसिबिलिटी की बात करनी है हमें. तो पॉसिबिलिटी कब होगी? व्हेन विल गेट फॉर 5 अननोन्स विल गेट 5 इक्वेशंस. 4 इक्वेशन है. ये स्टेटमेंट 1 हमें एक इक्वेशन और देगा. इट कैन बी सॉल्व. सेकंड स्टेटमेंट, एवरेज एज ऑफ ऑल द चिल्ड्रन इज 8. A plus B plus C plus D plus E divided by 5 is equal to 8. Is it in the equation? Yes. So statement 2 से भी सॉल्व हो जाएगा. स्टेटमेंट 2, क्योंकि because statement 2 also gives us one equation. So answer here is the question can be answered by either statement alone. 1 भी चलेगा अकेला, 2 भी चलेगा अकेला, because 4 इक्वेशन हमारे पास ऑलरेडी है. We already have 4 equations. We just need one more. Statement 1 also gives us that equation. Statement 2 also gives us that equation. They could be completely different equations giving us different answers. That doesn't matter. Question is it possible to solve? So yes, you give me one equation, it is possible to solve. I am not asked, actually I am not being asked to actually solve and find out the answer. That is not the question. It is data sufficiency question. Fine. Very easy. Next, what is the age of Manisha? That is the question. So there is age of Manisha, and first let us read first statement. Manisha is 24 years younger than her mother. So there is her mother as well. So there are 2 people involved and their ages are 2 unknowns, and to solve for 2 unknowns we need 2 equations. One equation is this, Manisha and mother ka age. So Manisha, mother minus Manisha is 24. मम्मी जो है 24 साल बड़ी है. Second, 5 years later, ages are in the ratio 3:5. 5 साल बाद Manisha would be m plus 5, mummy would be m capital M plus 5, and ratio is 3/5. And now we have 2 equations. But 2 unknowns के लिए हमें 2 equations तो चाहिए. And are these 2 different equations? Yes, because you see 5 into m, तो 5 होगा m small m coefficient, capital M का 3 होगा, यहाँ पे 1 and -1 वगैरह है. So these are 2 different equations. So for 2 unknowns 2 equations होंगे तो solve कर लेंगे. So answer here is, using both the statement we can solve. Answer is C. Both statement 1 and 2 are sufficient to answer the question. Answer find नहीं करना है. We just have to comment, is it possible to solve. This is CSC 2022. There are 2 variables. एक अननोन ये है मनीषा का एज, दूसरा अननोन मदर का एज है. अब तो 2 अननोन्स है तो 2 इक्वेशन चाहिए रहेंगे. स्टेटमेंट 1 gives us 1 equation, स्टेटमेंट 2 gives us 1 equation. That is all. बस 2 इक्वेशन है, 2 अननोन से सॉल्व हो जाएगा. सॉल्व करना नहीं है एक्चुअली, हमें बस कमेंट करना है कि इज इट पॉसिबल टू सॉल्व. फाइन. नेक्स्ट, दिस वाज आस्क्ड इन CSC 2022 एंड हियर वो जो हमने 10% की बात की कि देयर आर फ्यू क्वेश्चंस वेयर इंफॉर्मेशन इज गिवन अबाउट सम अदर क्वांटिटी एंड क्वेश्चन कुछ और ही पूछा जाए. यहाँ पे देखो x, देयर इज पर्सन x, he wants to distribute some pens among 6 children A B C D E F. A gets twice the number of pens by B, thrice the number of pens by C, 4 times that of D, 5 times that of E, and 6 times that of F. So all this information is about how many pen A gets. Correct. That is the question. That is the information. And question is, what is the minimum pen X should buy. Information किसी और ही चीज के बारे में दी है and पूछा कुछ और ही गया है. So because that is why we cannot assume just pens X buys as unknowns, क्योंकि उससे कुछ information हमें दी ही नहीं है उसके बारे में. All the information is about how many pens each one of them has in comparison with A. So let us assume that A has X pens. X ये इन्होंने ले लिया. So let us assume A has A pens. So what will have? A is twice that of B. तो B क्या होगा? A का आधा होगा. C क्या होगा? A का 1/3 होगा. D क्या होगा? A का 1/4 होगा. And then E and F. These are the pens each of them have. So total pens कितने हो गए? ये हो गए. This is the total pens उसने खरीदे होंगे मिस्टर एक्स ने. Total pens जो भी है, correct. This is what he must have bought. If you add a common लेके if you add, you will get I think 147 by 60. Please do this addition. LCM of all these is 60 and accordingly please perform this addition is equal to total number of pens. So what will number of pens A has is 60 into total number of pens divided by 147. A के पास इतने पेन्स होंगे. Now let us look at the options. Question क्या है? What is the minimum number of pens A should buy, X should buy so that each one of them gets even number of pens. तो मतलब T की क्या मिनिमम वैल्यू होनी चाहिए कि हर किसी को even number of pens मिले. Now this 147 if you look at it, जो T है that is total number of pens, it has to be multiple of 147 or not, क्योंकि A को जो number of pens ये मिले है और number of pens received by A has to be integer. आधा पेन तो नहीं मिल सकता ना किसी को. So this for this number to be an integer, this T has to be multiple of 147. यहाँ पे 147 दिख रहा है तुम्हें, 294 दिख रहा है, दोनों में से कुछ ना कुछ आंसर होगा. And minimum पूछा है तो let us first try 147. If you put T is equal to 147, so A gets 60, even number, yes. B gets A का आधा 30, even number. C gets A का 1/3, 20, even number. D gets 60 by 4, 15. Is it even number? No. So D does not get even number if A gets 60. That is why A must get. So total number of pens have to be 294 so that every one of them gets even number. Fine. I hope this is clear. You can also watch our PYQ series on YouTube if you are still confused. There I have explained in I have spent more time on this question, I think. Again, 5 friends PQ XYZ purchase some notebooks and there are relevant ones. So 5 friends are there. So 5 unknowns are there. Number of books उन्होंने कितने कितने खरीदे हैं, that is unknowns, that is given in the question itself. तो क्या दिया है देखो, Z purchases 8 more notebooks than X. So Z is equal to X plus 8. P and Q purchase together 21 notebooks. P plus Q is equal to 21. Q purchases 5 notebooks less than P. So Q is equal to P minus 5. Then X and Y together purchase 28 notebooks. Fine. Then last P purchases 5 notebooks more than X is equal to X plus 5. 5 equations, 5 unknowns. हमें solve करना है. We have to find how many notebooks each one of them bought. और क्या दिया? Each notebook is priced 40. Then what is the total cost of notebooks? तो जितने भी books खरीदे हैं उन्होंने total मिला के into 40 is our answer. If you observe, these are 2 equations in P and Q. 2 equations, 2 unknowns. So यहाँ से हमें P और Q की value मिल जाएगी. If you put that value of P here, you will get X की value. Put that here, you will get Y की value. Put that here, you will get Z की value. So all the values you will get. Very very easy to solve. 5 equations, 5 unknowns. ठीक है. But इन दोनों से start करना है. You will get P plus Q is equal to 21. And if you take Q that side, P minus Q is equal to P plus Q is equal to 21. P minus Q is equal to 5. If you bring 5 here, Q that side. You just add, you will get 2P is equal to Q cancel हो जाएगा. 21 plus 5 26. So P is equal to 13. P is equal to 13 तुम यहाँ पे डालोगे तो Q equal to 8 आ जाएगा. तो आ गई दोनों की वैल्यूज आपको. तो P की वैल्यू यहाँ पे डालोगे तो X is equal to 8 आ जाएगा, Y is equal to 20 आ जाएगा, Z is equal to यहाँ पे 16 आ जाएगा. तो if you add all of them, number of books तुम्हारे पास आ गए, उनको 40 से मल्टीप्लाई करो क्योंकि हर बुक की प्राइस 40 है. You will get the answer. Very simple. And CSE 2022. See, very recently also questions have been asked on this chapter. A has some coins, he gives half of the coins and 2 more to B. So A has some coins, he gives half of the coins and 2 more to B. Then B gives half of the coins plus 2 more to C. And C gives half of the coins and 2 more to D. अब क्या दिया है? D, number of coins D has now is the smallest 2-digit number. Smallest 2-digit number is 10. सो हाउ मेनी कॉइन्स डज ए हैव, तो उल्टा सॉल्व करते जाना है बस। इस डी की वैल्यू 10 है, तो यहां से आपको सी की वैल्यू मिल जाएगी, सी की वैल्यू यहाँ पे मिल जाएगी, पुट दैट हियर। फिर यहां से बी की वैल्यू मिल जाएगी, पुट दैट हियर, एंड देन यू विल गेट वैल्यू ऑफ ए एज आई थिंक 52। ठीक है, आई एम नॉट सॉल्विंग, इफ यू वांट एंटायर फुल सॉल्यूशन प्लीज वॉच यूट्यूब वीडियो ऑफ CSAT PYQs ऑन LevelUp IAS चैनल। वहां पे लीनियर इक्वेशन के चैप्टर में आई हैव डिस्कस दिस PYQ। Sometimes you don't need to complicate things. See, a person P asks one of his three friends X how much money he has. So X replies, if Y gives me 40, so there are how many people? CD X, there are X, Y and Z. क्या दिया है? If Y gives me 40 rupees, तो if Y gives him 40 rupees, X बोल रहा है if Y gives him 40 तो इसके पास 40 रुपए बढ़ जाएंगे, और Y ने 40 दिए तो उसके 40 रुपए कम हो गए ऑब्वियसली। देन Y विल हैव हाफ एज मच एज Z, तो Y विल हैव, इसने 40 रुपए देने के बाद Y के पास इतने बचे, दैट इज हाफ एज मच एज Z। सो दिस इज इक्वेशन नंबर 1। बट इफ Z गिव्स मी 40, ये हो गया, अब Z ने इसको 40 दिए तो इसके पास ये हो गया, Z के पास Z minus 40 हो गया। इफ Z gives me 40, then all three of us will have equal amount. So this is equal to Y is equal to Z. How many equations we have? This is equation 1, this is equation 2, and this is equation number 3, because two equality signs hai, so there are two equations, three equations, three unknown. Again it can be solved. This is equation in Y and Z, this is equation in Y and Z. So पहले Y and Z two equations, two unknown solve हो जाएगा, and then we can find the value of X. तो सबको मिला के कितने पैसे है, that is the question. Again, if you want detailed solution, you can watch the PYQ discussion series. Next, in an objective test, 90 questions है, +5 -2 है. Then after attempting all the 90 questions, मतलब उसने छोड़ा कुछ नहीं है, पूरे 90 attempted है, a student got 387 marks. What is the number of incorrect responses? Very easy. This is daily life of aspirants कि +2 - 5 मतलब +2 - 0.66 या फिर +2.5 - 0.83 ये करना। तो यहाँ पे +5 - 2 है, वो कर सकते हैं। So we have 90 questions. So he has attempted all the questions. Question क्या है? Number of incorrect responses. Let it be X. Let it be X number of incorrect responses. So अगर इनकरेक्ट X है तो करेक्ट कितने हैं? 90 - X, क्योंकि सारे अटेम्प्ट तो किए ही, तो करेक्ट आर 90 - X आर करेक्ट. So if these are correct, he got 5 into this positive marks minus 2 into X negative marks, right? And this is equal to 387. Just one equation, one variable, solve. 450 minus 5x minus 7x. 450 minus 5x minus 7x is minus 2x is minus 7x equal to 387. 450 minus 387 is 63 is equal to 7x. X is equal to 9. 9 incorrect answer. That is the answer. One more way to look at it, जैसे हम यूजुअली भी कर सकते हो आप लोग कि इफ ही गेट्स 1 इनकरेक्ट, एक क्वेश्चन गलत हुआ तो उसके कितने माइनस हो गए? 5 तो गए ही, एंड 2 निगेटिव भी चले गए, सो यू गेट -7, राइट? एक क्वेश्चन गलत हो गया तो -7 चला गया ना वो। तो आउट ऑफ परफेक्ट मार्क्स, मतलब 450 जो टोटल मार्क्स है, 90 अगर करेक्ट आते तो 450 है ना, तो उससे -7 चला गया वो, इफ वन क्वेश्चन इज इनकरेक्ट. करेक्ट और नॉट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन आवर एग्जामिनेशन पेपर 1 में इफ यू गेट 1 इनकरेक्ट तो यू गेट -2.66, 2 मार्क तो चले ही जाते हैं, और प्लस और 0.66 से पीछे चले जाते हो ना आप टोटल स्कोर से. सो दैट वे इफ यू गेट 1 रॉन्ग हियर यू गेट -5 - 2, मतलब 7 मार्क्स चले गए, और वो 450 से 387 तक आया है, तो मतलब ही गॉट 63 मार्क्स लेस देन 450, तो उसके टोटल 63 चले गए. एक क्वेश्चन पे 7 चले जाते हैं, तो हाउ मेनी क्वेश्चंस टू गेट रॉन्ग? 63 जाने के लिए 63 डिवाइडेड बाय 7 विच इज 9. तो वैसे भी सोच सकते हो, दैट इज आल्सो 5. नेक्स्ट 2 स्टेटमेंट्स आर गिवन with regard to question. Question is, what are the 2 numbers? Product of 2 numbers is 21. Fine. 2 numbers meaning 2 unknowns. For 2 unknowns we need 2 equations. Statement 1 is product of the numbers is 21. So that is equation 1 equation. Second, their sum is 10. That is second equation. So with two equations, for two unknowns, we need two equations. So we need both the statements. So answer is statement together are sufficient, but neither statement alone is sufficient to answer the question. So answer is going to be C. Very easy. Next, these are just types of questions I want to go through that UPSC has asked. A vessel full of water weighs 40 kg. If it is 1/3 filled, what is the weight? The weight becomes 20 kg. What is the weight of empty vessel? तो वेसल कोई भी आप ले लो, उसका अपना वेट होता है खुद का, और उसमें पानी डालो तो पानी का वेट होता है. So weight of the vessel filled with water is due to empty vessel weight plus water's weight. Question is, weight of empty vessel is what? Let it be V. जो भी पूछा गया है वो हम लोग अननोन अज्यूम कर लेंगे. तो वेसल का मैंने V ले लिया. This is one set of information. This is second set of information. So we can assume two unknowns. Second unknown of course is water का weight. बस water का weight. So what we have, let water's full water weight, मतलब पूरा अगर मैंने वेसल भरा तो let it be, let water का weight be W. तो फर्स्ट इक्वेशन क्या है? वेसल फुल ऑफ वाटर इज इक्वल टू 40 kgs ना. तो वाटर का वेट प्लस एम्प्टी वेसल का वेट 40 किलो हो जाता है पहला इक्वेशन के अकॉर्डिंग. उसमें से जो पानी का वेट है प्लस जो पतीले का वेट है, जो वेसल का वेट है, दोनों मिला के 40 kg है. वेसल फुल ऑफ वाटर मतलब वाटर का भी वेट है, वेसल का भी वेट. सेकंड इक्वेशन, इफ इट इज 1/3 फिल्ड, अगर वो 1/3 फिल्ड है तो पानी का वेट 1/3 हो जाएगा, बट वेसल का वेट तो उतना ही रहेगा ना. वेसल तो का थोड़ी वेट कम हो रहा है, वेसल का तो वेट उतना ही है. इट इज 20. टू इक्वेशंस, टू अननोन्स. क्वेश्चन इज v की वैल्यू निकालनी है. यू कैन जस्ट सब्ट्रैक्ट दिस. w minus w by 3 is 2w by 3. v minus v 0 is equal to 20. तो इससे क्या आएगा? w is equal to 20 into 3 by 2 is equal to 30. वाटर का वेट 30 आ गया, वो यहां पे डालोगे तो वेसल का वेट वुड बी 10 kg. सिंपल. Next solution, I have already provided hint here. If you have something like this x is not multiplication. यहाँ पे x is units place, यहाँ पे x is tens place. This is 2-digit number xx. Which digit does x stand for? All we have to do is expand using place values. So this x is just x. 1x is 10 plus x. 5x is 50 plus x. xx is 10x plus x. This x is equal to 1xx मतलब 1 is 100. X is 10x. This x is x. So one equation, single equation, single variable. Just simplify it. Find the value of x. Take variables on one side, constant on one side, and you will get the answer. Last question for the day. Number consists of 3 digits, of which middle is 0 and their sum is 4. Fine. Number consists of 3 digits, of which middle one is 0. बीच वाला number 0 है, दिया है. So let other two be x and y. So there are two unknowns, x and y. This is 3-digit number. And what is given? The sum is 4. Sum of digits क्या है? x plus 0 plus y, meaning x plus y only is equal to 4. Fine. And if the number formed by interchanging the first and the last digit, तो मतलब क्या हो गया? y0x is greater than the number itself by 198. तो ये नंबर इससे 198 से बड़ा है, तो इन दोनों के डिफरेंस 198 है बेसिकली. Then what is the difference between first and last digit? So this minus this is 198. तो मतलब क्या दिया है? y0x minus x0y is equal to 198. y0x is 100y plus x. 0x 0 into 10 is 0 minus 100x plus y is equal to 198. 100y minus y is 99y and x minus 100x is minus 99x is equal to 198. If you divide by 99, you will get y minus x is equal to 2. पूछा क्या है? डिफरेंस बिटवीन द फर्स्ट एंड द लास्ट डिजिट. वही पूछा है. फर्स्ट एंड द लास्ट डिजिट का डिफरेंस y minus x is 2. So answer here is D. I hope this lecture was helpful. Very frequently asked questions. I have not considered all the questions. I have just considered few of them as sample questions, and how you can convert these word problems into equations and how you can solve these equations. So I hope you will benefit from this. And if you want full PDF of this lecture, please visit my Telegram channel CSE/IFS with Abhishek, and all the booklets are uploaded on the channel, and please find it there. And if you like it, please share it with your friends as well who might benefit, and comment if you have any doubts. So thank you.